Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
No.
No. Can everybody hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Buenas tardes, and first of all, thank you to Maria Cristina for this opportunity, for thinking about the Export-Import Bank. I know I bumped into her. We are always bumping into each other at different seminars, and I had said to her, next time you have a conference on international trade, think of me. And she did. She did remember. So I'm very happy to be here along with Richard and Manny and all the people who have been involved in international trade. And I know this audience is basically all IT entrepreneurs. Is that correct? No? Do we have a mixed bag of small businesses? Okay. And I gather from when Richard was saying no one here has ever exported before? Okay, all right. So you're just the type of audience we need to talk to. But first, let me I know you've heard a lot about international trade and the importance of why we should trade, and we all remember President Obama's statement about was it February? Yeah, and when he announced the President's National Export Initiative, and Richard is correct, yeah. All of the agencies that are related in international commerce, Department of Commerce, Export-Import Bank, SBA, International Trade Development, Department of Agriculture, and I could go on. There are 20 agencies altogether. Okay, we're quite a big group. And we are dedicated to promoting U.S. trade for more reasons than one. Trying to help our trade deficit is, of course, one of them. But let me talk a little bit about the Export-Import Bank and our role. We're a federal independent agency, but we're self-sustaining. What does that mean? That means that we have been fortunate enough to produce enough revenues, that we have brought in enough revenue into our agency from the transactions that we have insured and guaranteed, so that we're self-sustaining. And at the end of the year, we do not take any money from the taxpayer, okay? We actually, I think last year, we gave back to Treasury $10 million. So we are, we have a good story. We've been very lucky for the last few years that we have remained as a self-sustaining agency. We've been around since 1934. So anybody who's ever studied international trade or read anything, sooner or later, the word Exim Bank or the Export-Import Bank, you've come across us. What we do is, in very brief terms, is we provide financial services in the form of 3 products. We have working capital guarantee program, similar to SBA. We also have export credit insurance program, which protects U.S. exporters who are trying to look for insurance to protect their foreign receivables. And we also provide medium-term and long-term financing for those companies that are willing to sell their products overseas. There might be capital goods equipment, maybe the buyer in Mexico needs terms. We have a program that can help make that sale go through. Then our mission is to sustain U.S. jobs, help create and sustain more U.S. jobs. That's why we are so vital in this President's initiative, and also to help promote U.S. exports. So that's why we exist. We exist to help U.S.-made products to be sold overseas. One of our main requirements is, the first thing we would ask you is the product has to be made in the U.S. It cannot be made in China, it cannot be made in Mexico. It has to be made here in the U.S. We have a foreign content rule, which means that basically if the product has some foreign content in it, it's okay as long as it is not more than 49% of the total finished product. So we can support those sales. but they have to be U.S. made, and the foreign content rule has to be met. I brought quite a bit of literature. I brought product selection guides to give you an idea of the different products we have, because unfortunately we don't have enough time to go over every single program. But I do want to tell you what Exim Bank has been doing. We're under the leadership of our chairman, Fred Hochberg. We have been trying very diligently to meet the goals of doubling exports. It has been a very challenging demand for us, but as Richard, my job is very similar to Richard's. I'm a facilitator. I'm here to help minority-owned firms who are interested in exporting to come to me, and I will help them to navigate through the Exim Bank products and find out if we are a good fit for their financing needs or not. I mean, I met a company in Maryland last month at a conference at the National Minority Business Diversity Council meeting, and this is a large, growing energy technology company, and they have a big interest in doing a lot of energy-related services type work in Africa. So I'm going to be setting up a meeting with him and his staff to help him understand, based on his needs, what his company's finding out now that they're going global, what are his challenges, and how Exim Bank can fit into his marketing plan and negotiating plan. Remember, when you're export ready, as everyone has told you, one of the things, you're going to get to the point where you're going to actually sit down with a customer and you're going to start saying, okay, well, how much do you want, and da-da-da-da. When you're thinking of your price and when you're thinking of the sales price and your operating expense, take into consideration that you want to be sure that you're dealing with credit-worthy buyers, that they are reputable firms, that they can provide you with credit references or bank references. You do not want to deal with, or we would not encourage you to deal with startup companies who have no really financial, foundation. Just like you wouldn't do so here in the States. Very similar, you do your credit check on these companies. Remember, you're developing a relationship with these companies, and take advantage, as Richard mentioned, working with our Department of Commerce, export assistance centers. If you have a product and you think that it could be of interest in another country, well, go to our Export Assistance Center. We have one in Arlington. I believe we have one in Arlington, and we have one in Baltimore. And you can talk to them, and these are specialists, industry specialists. So let's say you're in the garment industry, or let's say you're in the IT industry. You can talk to them about your products, what you sell, what you're good at, and you could say, I'm interested about going to Colombia. I have met some people there who, tell me that my product would do well over there. They could help you do some market research right there. And, this is a service that our Department of Commerce can give you to help you in doing your research in determining what will be my market strategy. So once you've done your market strategy, once you've maybe gone on a couple of trade missions with Commerce. Commerce has trade missions that go overseas, and it's a great opportunity to meet with customers and to meet with customers that have been screened by the commercial attaché in that local country. So you're dealing with reputable industries. And also, as someone else mentioned before, not only the Commerce Department does trade missions, but our states do trade missions now. Kansas is doing trade missions. Every city I talk to, every state that I talk to has a trade mission, has a partnership with one country or another. So the opportunities are endless. So if we've gotten you a little bit of interest and you're curious about learning more about exporting, the first thing I would ask you to do is do a little homework. Write down this website, www.export, exim.gov. That's the first website you want to go to. It will introduce you to all of our agencies. It will introduce you to the export assistance centers, where they are, where they're located. It'll tell you, it'll give you a direct link to the Exim Bank website as well. And it'll give you all kinds of tips and webinars and things you need to know. So it's a free information that you can really spend. I would advise everybody who is interested in exporting to get to know that website. And once you think you want to know more about the Exim Bank products, please go to our website, which is exim.gov, exim.gov, okay? And we have information not only about the what we're doing in the National Export Initiative in terms of reaching out to customers. For example, we have a global access initiative right now that our chairman and senior management from SBA and different organizations, including Commerce, have been going out around the country every month talking to various groups of small businesses to introduce them to our various agencies. You can get a list of where these global access events are. I just came back from San Juan, Puerto Rico, where we had a very successful event in Puerto Rico. And there's a lot of interest in Puerto Rico to become the next gateway to the Americas. So because in Puerto Rico, they're beginning to realize that, you know, the U.S. is not the only market. We have Panama, we have Santo Domingo, we have Costa Rica, we have Colombia. And they're beginning to feel the pressure in Puerto Rico that, hey, if we don't get our act together, no one's going to even know that Puerto Rico exists. And they have a wealth of talent over there. So they're very excited and very driven into becoming export ready as soon as possible. So I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you at one time, and I apologize for that. But in terms of services, for those people that are in the service industry, and if you think, well, what kind of services can I possibly export? Well, there's everything from engineering services, design services, construction design, renovation, water, waste, energy treatment, software, satellite communications, solar industry. We have a renewable energy program to help companies that are dedicated to improve the environment. We have special programs to help those companies, and we've seen a big increase in environment products from the U.S. A lot of interest around the world, not just in Asia, but in South America as well, as all the countries are becoming more sensitive about improving air quality and improving roads, etc., and health conditions. So Exim Bank can be a very good partner for you when you're ready to do your financing. So think about us when you're ready to do your financing, when you think you have your customers. If you're going to a trade mission and you want to talk with one of us, we are located all over the country. Right here at 811 Vermont Avenue, you will find me. So I have my business card. You could give me a call if you want to come pay me a visit, or we could chat over the phone. We also have offices in New York, Miami, Chicago, Houston, and in the West Coast, we have offices in Orange County, satellite offices in San Francisco, and San Diego as well. Did I forget anybody? New York, Chicago. That's it. So those are where we have regional offices, and most of them are set up with or close to the export assistance centers. So if you go to an export assistance center, and it's again another great wealth of information, you can speak to the commerce specialist. He'll help you with your marketing information. And then when you come back from your trip and it says, okay, I got a couple of good orders, now how am I going to finance these deals? I need working capital. They'll introduce you to the Exim Bank partner. who can help you with your financing. So that's all I have to say, except that, think of our products. Basically, it's working capital, insurance products, and financing of capital goods and services. We have initiatives in sub-Saharan Africa, and I can go on and on. But I will stop right now, and I look forward to meeting everybody, and best of luck to you.